name is Lenny Vermoss, and my contact information is on the screen, as well as the website that has the information that you're about to receive. And you might be wondering what sense and meaning has to do with the rope trick and helping students enjoy learning. In a little bit, you'll see how to do the trick and how they tie together. Wait until you see this. Okay, watch the rope very carefully. Grandpa's going to do a rope trick. Okay, watch what happens. We're going to put my finger here. What happened? Oh. Can you believe that? Tape it. Okay? All right, watch what's going to happen to the rope. I'm going to go like this. How'd that work? One more time. Seeing is believing. Okay, Owen, I'm going to show you a trick. Watch this. Put your finger straight up.
Cool, how'd you do that?
Owen has a good question. How did you do that? Later in this video, you will see how to repeat the trick, which is really the story behind the rope trick that you have seen. A long time ago, I went to a math conference. I went to a kind of a mathematical magician who showed me the trick. I came back and showed it to my students. The good thing was that right after coming back, I shared the trick. As typically happens after the initial demonstration, it was a while before I did the trick again. Unfortunately, I forgot how to do the trick. It did not get into my long-term memory. Fortunately, though, I went to another conference about a year later, and I ran into the person that showed the trick, and I said, "Oh, you have to show me that trick," which he did, and which I have remembered since, but I've remembered it through muscle memory as opposed to understanding what was on the trick and how the trick made sense and meaning. So I had just memorized it, and to this day I still have just memorized it, and I repeat it from time to time so I remember it. Now I will have a video so that I can kind of go back and look at it. But what I've learned is that for something to get into the brain, it takes two things. It has to have sense, has to make sense, and it has to have meaning. And without those two, it just doesn't get into the long-term memory. And so what I do is I really like this graphic, and this graphic shows that what we do is if it has little sense and little meaning, we're not going to remember it, which is what happened with my rope trick. If it has meaning but little sense, there's a moderate chance. And the best way to do it is to have sense and meaning, because then it has a high chance of being remembered. And your task as a teacher is to make sure that what you're teaching students has sense and meaning. In math class, that means that they need to understand why you need common denominators. They need to understand why you regroup. Otherwise, it just becomes an algorithm that they remember for a while but forget. And so the real key with anything that we teach students is to make sure that it has sense and meaning. And now what you've been waiting for is I have taken a video that shows how to repeat the trick. So you may look at this and hopefully learn how to do the trick. Okay, here's what you've been waiting for, how to do the trick. You loop the rope over one person's finger. It's a closed loop, so all the way it's closed. You take your index finger, point it up, and you use on the left-hand side, you go around and loop it. And then with your thumb pointing up, you loop the rope so it's just laying on top of your thumb. This part seems to be important as I move my left hand over and up, and then with my pointer finger I go down and around. Looks like I got a lot of mess there, but it works. I put my pointer finger to lock it on the finger, and then I let go with my thumb, and as I jiggle the rope, off it comes. I'm still not for sure how this trick works. I'm assuming it has something to do with the mathematical topology, but if you would happen to know or can explain it, please feel free to contact me. I have one little last segment I'll show here. Try this if you're careful with your students. And I would once again urge you to help your students make sense and meaning of what you're teaching them so they understand it and not memorize it. Thank you very much. Okay, here, Walker, here's another trick. Watch this. I'm going to go like this. And over your head.
How did he do that? How did you do that?
I don't know.